Alright, let's dive into this episode of the Block 2026, because honestly, it's a masterclass in how tension, drama, and poor decision-making can collide in the most entertaining way. And let me just say, if you thought reality TV couldn't get more chaotic, think again. This episode is a rollercoaster, and I'm here to break it down for you, not just what happened, but why it matters, and what it says about human nature under pressure. So, here's the hook. Adam has somehow become the most hated man on the block. Now, personally, I think this is fascinating because it's not like he's sabotaging anyone's work or causing deliberate chaos. No, his crime? Being too happy at the end of a grueling day. Seriously. Taylor and Courtney interpret his laid-back attitude as some sort of sadistic pleasure in their misery, which, in my opinion, says more about their mental state than it does about Adam. What many people don't realize is that in high-stress environments, even the smallest things can be misconstrued. Adam's just trying to keep his sanity, but to them, he's the villain. It's a classic case of projection, and it's honestly a bit sad to watch. Now, let's talk about Rick. Poor guy. He's the most experienced contestant, but he's getting his butt kicked by a 5mm plaster error. Sounds minor, right? Wrong? Under this year's rules, that tiny mistake means he can't move forward until it's fixed. And with tools down at 3 p.m. on Saturday, time is not on his side. What makes this really interesting is how it highlights the absurdity of perfectionism in a competition like this. One small error can derail hours of work, and it raises a deeper question: is this level of scrutiny fair, or is it just a way to create more drama? Personally, I think it's a bit of both. Rick's solution: lobby for extended working hours. But here's where it gets messy. Adam, the supposed villain, is the only one who opposes this idea. Not because he doesn't want the extra time, but because he thinks holding a meeting the day before room reveals is a waste of their already limited hours. From my perspective, Adam's being practical, but in the heat of the moment, practicality doesn't always win. It's a classic clash of short-term panic versus long-term strategy, and it's a reminder that sometimes, the most logical person in the room is also the most misunderstood. Now, let's shift gears to the budget drama, because this is where things get really interesting. Some teams, like Rick and Taylor, are playing it smart with a $5,000 budget. Others, like Courtney and Sev, are throwing financial caution to the wind, spending closer to $20,000. What this really suggests is that there are two very different approaches to this competition: play it safe, or go big, or go home. But here's the thing, Scott Cam warns them that overspending like this could knock them out of the competition in just 5 weeks. In my opinion, Courtney and Sev are either geniuses or completely reckless. Time will tell, but one thing that immediately stands out is how their high-risk strategy reflects their desperation to win House 4. It's a gamble, and I'm here for it. Then there's Jolene, who's basically running herself ragged as Adam's errand girl. 7 trips to Bunnings in one day. That's not teamwork, that's exploitation. What many people don't realize is that behind every contestant, there's often a partner or family member bearing the brunt of the stress. Jolene's frustration is completely valid, and it raises a deeper question: how much is too much to ask of someone in a competition like this? Personally, I think the show could do a better job of highlighting the toll it takes on relationships. And let's not forget Chantel and Wyatt's quiet luxury debacle. Shelley Craft, the host, calls out Chantel for ditching bronze handles in favor of gold, and it sends her into a tailspin. What makes this really interesting is how it exposes the pressure contestants feel to follow trends. Shelley's AI search about quiet luxury feels like a meta-commentary on how technology is influencing design choices. But here's the thing, Chantel's breakdown isn't just about handles. It's about the fear of making the wrong choice in a competition where every detail matters. If you take a step back and think about it, it's a microcosm of how we all overthink decisions in our own lives. Finally, let's talk about Sev and Courtney's micro-cement obsession. Shelley's incredulous reaction, "Aren't you an interior designer?" is gold. What this really suggests is that even professionals can lose sight of the bigger picture when they are in the thick of competition. Their budget blowout and over-designing of a house they don't even want to keep is a perfect example of how ambition can cloud judgment. In my opinion, they are either going to win big or crash and burn spectacularly. Either way, it's going to be entertaining. So, what's the takeaway here? The Block 2026 isn't just about renovating houses, it's about the human drama that unfolds when people are pushed to their limits. From Adam's misplaced villainy to Rick's plaster woes, every moment is a study in pressure, perception, and poor decision-making. Personally, I think this episode is a reminder that sometimes, the most interesting stories aren't about the end result, but about the chaos it takes to get there. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more breakdowns like this. Until next time.